My name is Antoni Menard, and this is trauma-informed yoga. So all yoga is good for trauma, but this was specifically is for anyone who has complex PTSD or really any trauma in their life. And like I was saying earlier, that could be medical, it could be loss of a job, it could be war. My father had complex PTSD from growing up in World War II in Italy, abuse, all kinds of things, grief. So we all have a little bit of trauma if we live long enough. Welcome. So I just want to go, the book, if you're wanting to know more about trauma and how it affects the body-mind connection, the best book is The Body Keeps the Score by Basil van der Kerk. Has anyone read that? Excellent, excellent book. I would recommend it. They have it at the library. They also have it on Audible. So I'm just going to go through, just give me 5 minutes to kind of go through this and why trauma-informed yoga is different than regular yoga. So whenever trauma occurs, we tend to lose that body-mind connection and we lose the sense of the sensations in our body. It's almost a form of dissociative disorder. And my mother had that from some trauma from her childhood. And I can remember my mom like breaking her foot, literally her toes many times, and not even stopping because she was so disconnected from her body. It's actually a coping mechanism. Something we do to survive extreme trauma is to disassociate from the body. But the problem that comes with that is we then tend to stay in that trauma and we're triggered by memories, smells, thoughts, and things like that. And it also can cause a lot of other problems, relational, mentally, and emotional. So yoga has been shown, and in The Body Keeps the Score, to help. So when you're doing talk therapy, for instance, you hit a wall. And they have found that through body work, and that can be any martial arts, yoga, massage, Reiki massage, all of those things, you can actually reconnect to the body. So I'm not going to go into it too much. I am not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I am not a neuroscientist, which is what this is. Neuroscience, a lot of this is really new, and they're discovering it every day. But like I said, get that book, The Body Keeps the Score, if you're interested. And we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using lots of words like might. And when I say might, what I mean is you might feel this, but you may not. Or you might want to do this, but you may not. And again, in trauma yoga, it's all about what you feel safe with and what you feel comfortable with. So if I'm telling you to do something that makes you feel vulnerable or uncomfortable, like closing your eyes, you don't have to. Or even the breath work. So in trauma-informed yoga, you don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to force the breath or anything like that. So let's get comfortable. So you can, if you'd like to, for this breathing session, which is going to be about 5 minutes, you can lie down on your back. You can sit up. You can sit back in your chair. But the key here is to feel comfortable. So in typical yoga classes, we have it really dark. And again, in trauma-informed yoga, we don't go with the super darkness. We don't go with a lot of music. We keep it pretty basic. So you can close your eyes if you want to. But if closing your eyes makes you feel scared or worried, don't do that. Just softly gaze down at the floor or at the ceiling. Take a big cleansing breath, inhaling through the nose and letting it out of your mouth. Let's do that again, maybe with an audible sigh. And then I just want you to notice the sensation of the breath going in and out of your nostrils. Just feel it. Don't force it. Notice how your nostrils flare up a little when you breathe in and relax when you breathe out. Notice how the air feels slightly warmer when you breathe out versus when you breathe in. And even, you might even notice some moisture in the nostrils when you breathe out. We're now going to move to the back of the throat. And I just want you to feel the breath coming up and down the back of your throat. Again, the throat is slightly opening up when you breathe in and slightly constricting when you breathe out. Moving our attention now to the chest. Feel the chest moving with each breath. Rising on the inhale, maybe. Relaxing on the exhale. Then moving into the side ribs. Feel the ribs expanding out when you breathe in. And maybe they feel like they're contracting inward when you breathe out. I like to imagine an accordion. Then moving down to the belly. We're not going to force belly breathing, but I want you to feel the sensation of the breath coming into the belly. And then slowly leaving the belly when you breathe out. Then take another deep inhale through your nose. And let it out of your mouth, maybe with an audible sigh. As you slowly start to blink open your eyes to come back into the room. If you're lying down on the floor, you can start to bend your knees and make your way to a seated upright position, maybe by rolling to your side if you'd like. If you're in a chair, you're going to scooch to the edge of the chair to sit up tall. Now, did you notice, I don't know if you've noticed, if you feel a little more relaxed, and that's meditation or mindfulness. What we did is we brought our nervous system into parasympathetic, rest, digest, and heal. Most of us in today's society tend to hang out in sympathetic, fight, flight, or freeze. And when you experience trauma, you get stuck in that. So, and remember, it's rest, digest, and heal. It's hard for the body to heal and for digestion and rest when you're constantly in fight or flight. So simply noticing your breath can bring you out of that. And that's that calm feeling that you may have experienced. So we're going to sit up nice and tall, and we're just going to start to connect to the body. You can have your eyes opened or closed anytime you'd like. We're going to bring our arms to the side. We're going to take a deep inhale. As we exhale, and if you feel uncomfortable, go ahead and grab a chair, no big deal. As you exhale, bring your right, I'm going to mirror you, your right ear down to your right shoulder. Let your shoulder drop away from it. And then inhale back in the center. And exhale left ear to left shoulder. Now let's move with the breath. As we inhale, we come back up. And as we exhale, right ear drops down. Back in the center. And left ear to left shoulder. Relax the shoulder down, away from the ear. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring that right ear to the right shoulder. Drop the shoulder away. And as you breathe, imagine your breath going up and down the left side of your neck. And then inhale back in the center. Bring left ear to left shoulder. Drop the shoulder as if it's running away. And as you hold this, breathe up and down the right side of your neck. And back up in the center. Now, did you feel any tightness or discomfort in your neck? That's okay, a little tightness in there. We're going to release the fascia in the ears, and that's actually going to release the neck. So we're gonna grab the bottoms of our ears and we're gonna pull and wiggle. As we breathe, we never wanna hold our breath, which brings you into fight or flight. And we're gonna slowly make our way all the way up to the top of the ear. And you're pulling and you're really just like, it's like a massage for the earlobes. And just work your way up and down, pulling and wiggling until your ears feel hot, warm, tingly. You might have to pull your hands away to check in with that. And don't worry about when anyone else pulls their hands away. You do it when your ears feel warm. And again, you can pull your hands away to check in. See if they feel a little bit warm. And instantly, you might notice yourself doing this because your neck feels freer. That release that fascia, which goes from your ears down the sides of your neck. All right, now we're gonna test it and see how much more comfortable that eardrop feels. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Do you feel that range of motion there? Back in the center and to the left side. And back in. And so you can do that every day. The fascia tends to dry up, it gets stiff pretty much every day. So that's something you can do every day to release your neck. And I also want it to be a reminder that you don't need intense movements to release the body. You can be very gentle. All right, now we're gonna fire up some muscles in the back. On the inhale, we're gonna shrug our shoulders. And with control on the exhale, you're gonna pull your shoulders down. And then I want you to pull your shoulder blades down. Inhale, shrugging. Exhale, pulling down. Let's do that a few more times. Is anybody getting warm in here? A little bit warm? I'm sorry, Elliot, would you mind? I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. I won't keep disturbing you. I want you to be able to enjoy it too. Let's do 2 more with the breath. And then 1 more. And we're gonna pull the shoulders down, pull the shoulder blades down the back. We're gonna hold that. Don't give it 100%. We tend to give things 100%. No pain, no gain. No, not in yoga. Give it about 75%. Try that in life. See how much better you do. Uh-oh, I forgot to remind everyone to silence the phones. It's okay, life happens. And release. Okay, so we fired up those shoulder muscles. That's going to help us with our shoulders and our neck. Now we're gonna go into cat-cow. So I'm gonna give you some options here. If you're on the floor, you can come onto hands and knees, or you can stay seated. If you're into hands and knees, your wrists go under your shoulders, your knees go under your hips, and you can also come onto fists. I found that men prefer to use fists over hands. I don't know if it's what it is, but a lot of women, that hurts them, but you can try that if you have wrist issues. Spread your fingers, because everyone's different. If you're in your chair, you do want to come to the edge of your chair, okay? And you want to bring your feet hip distance and your knees hip distance. On the inhale, we're going to arch our back, drop our belly. If you're in a chair, you're going to bring your chest forward and rock forward. On the exhale, you're going to round your back and push away like a cat stretching. This is called cat. Inhale, arching the back, lifting your chest, lifting your chin. Exhale, rounding and stretching like a cat and tucking in your chin. And now I want you to just flow at your own pace with your own breath in and out of cat-cow. Feel where you notice this most. It might be in your low back, but you might feel it elsewhere, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer. Let's do 1 more cat-cow. And if you don't want to move with your breath, just don't hold your breath. And then we're going to come back in the center. And I want a neutral spine. It's not arching, it's not rounding. And we're going to stir the pot. So if you're on hands and knees, you're going to start to sway your hips slowly side to side as you cat-cow, okay? So arch and round, you're going to be. And if you're in a chair, we're going to make a circle on the ceiling. It's called stirring the pot. But what we're doing in this is we're stretching the sides of our back as we sway those hips side to side. We're also getting into the shoulders. And I just want you to feel this. intuitively. And imagine your breath is moving you like the wind moves a windmill. Your breath is moving you. And then change the direction, change the direction. And make this intuitive, make it any way you want. Moving and flowing and feeling. Let's do one more round. And back in the center. All right, we're gonna go ahead now and we're gonna go into our first downward dog. So everybody go ahead and stand, actually no. If you're in a chair, stand up and walk to the back of your chair. If you're on hands and knees, you're going to spread your fingers, lift up off the floor, and start to bend your knees. If you're behind the chair, you're gonna grab on the chair, walk back, and fold. And let's all bend those knees. Don't wanna lock your knees, so don't lock your knees. Let your head drop. If you have high blood pressure or glaucoma, keep your head above the heart. Take a big breath and slowly walk it in. And now we're gonna go into a forward fold. So if you're on the mat, you're gonna bend your knees and just kind of hang over your thighs. If you have a chair, you're gonna turn your chair around, bring your hands to the chair, and you're gonna bend your elbows and let your head release. And you can sway as well. All right, and then we're gonna slowly come up. All right, let's come into mountain pose now. Turn your chair back around so you have the back of your chair, or stand at the top of your mat. We're gonna bring our feet, we're gonna find mountain pose. We're gonna bring our feet hip distance. And make sure your feet are straight. You might be surprised that your toes are going out, okay? So come to the top of your mat, all the way to the top. There you go. We're gonna lift our toes and spread them. What this is gonna do is reintroduce the arches in our feet. We have 3 arches we wanna hold on to as we get older. In our feet, our back, and our neck. So we're doing that. Now we're gonna make sure we're not locking knees, okay? Don't lock your knees. Then we're gonna bring our shoulders down. We're gonna bring our hands down. We're gonna bring our ears back. And we're gonna not lift our chin. We're gonna lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling to lengthen. Now notice your breath. Does it feel fuller and deeper? Deep breathing is when you're in rest, digest, and heal, you come into deep breathing. It's relaxing. When you're in trauma or fight or flight, you get shallow breathing, which is fight, flight, or freeze. Feel the breath moving through the body. All right, we're gonna do a sun salutation. So as you stand there, I just wanna show you how it's gonna look different for the chair and the mat. In the chair, you're not gonna follow along yet. You're gonna inhale, arms up. You're gonna exhale, grab the chair, walk back, bend the knees, and fold. If you're on the mat, you're gonna inhale, arms, chest, chin, exhale. We bend at the knees and the hips. And we step back to upside down V, and then watch what I do. You see how the hips go back? In both ways, the hips go back. And then we come back, we fold. We're gonna half lift, and then come up, okay? So we're gonna do some gentle sun salutations to warm up and to connect with the body through vinyasa. Chair or mat, I'm gonna go back and forth. So find mountain pose. Feet are hip distance, feet are straight, toes are lifting. Shoulders down, ears over shoulders, lifting up through crown. Inhale, lift arms, chest, and chin. Exhale, bend your knees to plant your hands on the chair or floor. Walk back. Bend those knees and pull your hips back and up. Take a breath. Slowly walk it back in. If you're in the chair, come into mountain pose. If you're on the floor, you're gonna walk your hands to your shins to straighten your back and legs, and then come all the way up. And we're gonna inhale. We're gonna bring hands together into your chest for namaste. Let's do that 2 more times. Take a break anytime you need to. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. And step it back. Take a breath. Pull your shoulders down your back. And walk it in. Halfway lift. All the way up. Big heart opener. Let's bring our arms to our side and twist and swing it out. Let's take a cleansing breath to reset the nervous system. Let's let out that sigh. And we're going to do one more, but it's yogi's choice. If you're warmed up, you can skip this one. I'll do it with the back of my chair this time. Inhale, lift arms, chest and chin. Exhale, bend your knees to plant your hands. Walk it back. Bend those knees to bring those hips back and up. Let your head release. Take a breath. And slowly walk it back in. Half lift if you're on the floor. Mountain pose if you're standing. Inhale, heart opener. Exhale, release your arms and swing them out. All right, that's good, that little cracking. That's a good sign as long as it doesn't hurt. All right, so now we're gonna go into our warrior 2. Actually, we're going to warrior 1. So if you have a chair, you're gonna walk to the back of the chair till it touches you. If you're on the mat, you're gonna step to the top of your mat. And I'll show you what it looks like. Imagine I have a chair in front of me. I'm gonna mirror you. We're going to lift the right heel. Keep your left foot where it is. Walk it back and put the heel down. Your feet should be spread apart like they're on railroad tracks. There's a reason for that. If they're not spread apart, your hips are gonna be tilted. We want our hips square. Bring that right hip forward. There you go. Bend that front knee. All right, keep it in the center. And then we're gonna start to bring shoulders over hips. Okay. You can hold up, bring that chair closer to you so you can hold on. So I'm gonna give you the option to lift no arms or just lift your right arm or both arms. Look at something that's not moving in front of you. It's called your drishti. Take 3 cleansing breaths. Grab the chair or bring your hands to your hips. Slowly step out. We're mindful when we go in and out because most yoga injuries happen coming out of the pose. Let's do it again now with the left foot. Step it back. Your feet are spaced apart like they're on railroad tracks. Square off your hips. Bend your knee. Keep it right in the center. You can go past your toes. All right? Now start to bring your shoulders over your hips. And again, you have the option to just lift no arms, left arm, or both arms. Look at something that's not moving. 3 breaths. You can breathe in the nose and out of the mouth. You can do pursed lips or nostril breathing, yogi's choice. If your back hurts, come out of it. It's not working for you, and that's okay. Grab onto the chair, step it in, and shake it out. Bring your feet a little wider than normal, feet slightly going out. Soften the knees. We're going to try to turn the hips only, so try not to move the upper body, and make circle on the floor. As you breathe, remember your breath is the wind moving the windmill. And reverse it. You can even come into namaste hands, gently pressing from the bottom of your hands to the fingertips, spreading the fingers apart, thumbs to breastbone. And release and shake it out. All right, we're going to go back to our chairs, or I'm going to give you an option here, so bear with me because we have 2 different sets going on here. If you're standing on your mat, here's what we're gonna do. If you're gonna stay on your mat, we're gonna turn to face the exit door. If you're staying in your chair, you're gonna turn your chair to face the exit door. And I'm gonna turn this camera as well. I didn't think that through. Hi. All right. Well, y'all can have a laugh when you look at that. Here we go. All right, turn your chair to face here and sit in it. We're gonna all do warrior two. So sit in your chair on the edge. Bring your feet wide and straight. We're gonna all bend our right knee, turning the foot and the knee out. And then with the left foot, we're gonna keep that leg straight, and we're gonna come onto the pinky toe side of that left foot. All right, now see how I'm leaning? I don't wanna lean. I wanna come right in the center. So you can do it in your chair or standing. We're gonna bring the arms out, palms up, and we're gonna hug the shoulders down your back. Inhale in warrior two. And then exhale, we're just gonna side bend. And then inhale, warrior two. We're gonna exhale, reverse warrior. Let's do that 2 more times with the breath. Moving with the breath. Sit in the chair if it hurts. 1 more set. Back in the center and walk it in. Did we close the doors so we don't hear that? Thank you. You're getting some cardio today. All right, we're going to do that same sequence on the other side, warrior two, side angle warrior, reverse warrior. The left foot's going to turn out, the left knee's going to bend. You always keep the knee in line with the middle toes. We're going to come to the pinky toe side of the right leg. Shoulders over hips, arms out, palms up. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse angle. Let's just flow like that 2 more times with your breath. Feel it in your body. Where do you feel the strain? Where do you feel the tightness? Where do you feel the release? Keep breathing. The breath is moving you back up. Slowly step in. And then we're going to turn our chairs back to the front of the room. And we're going to do 1 more downward dog before coming back down to the floor. All right. So, downward dog, you get behind your chair, or you stand at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms overhead, lift arms, chest, chin. Exhale, bend your knees to fold, hands to floor or chair, and walk it back. And I want you to really pull those hips back and up, back and up. Feel the stretch in your spine. Bend your knees to bring those hips back. There you go. And go ahead and come down to tabletop if you're on the mat, or walk it in and sit back in your chair. All right. In your chair, go ahead and do a cat-cow. On your hands and knees, do a cat-cow. Just releasing. I'm going to sit down now on the floor, but you can sit on the floor or you can sit in the chair. All right. Let's pause here. You can go ahead and sit down now on the mat when you're done. In an easy pose after you've done some cat-cows in the chair. You're in a cat-cow. And we're going to find seated mountain pose or easy pose. So, I want you to all feel your sits bones. If you're in the chair, come to the edge. Seated, I want you to rock till you feel your 2 bones that you sit on. Okay? Land in the middle of each sits bone. That's going to bring you into upright position. All right. Let's go ahead now and bring our legs straight out in front of us. Whether you're in the chair or on the floor, your toes are coming in and they're pointing up. Bend your knees if you need to release your back, because you don't want to do this. Okay? If you round, you're going to hurt your back. we want to sit upright. We're gonna bend the right knee. And if you're seated, just let that knee come out. If you're on the floor, let that knee drop down to the floor. All right, bring your foot flat on the floor. There you go. Toes come in and up. There you go. Bring your hands behind you to lift up, because I see some of you. There you go. You're simply gonna hinge forward like this. There you go. If you have range of motion and you can hinge forward like this, dive forward. Some of you, I'm gonna say, don't do that. And don't do that here in the front because you're rounding your back. It's better to simply do this. So inhale, come back up in the center. Exhale, dive your chest forward, not your head, not your head. Just your hips and chest. Feel it in the back of the left leg. Is that where you feel it? Keep going. What you feel in yoga is important, not what you look like. It's what you feel. That's why a 90-year-old yogi could be doing a better, more pure practice than a 20-year-old hot yoga. Okay, you should feel the back of that. You might feel the back of that left leg stretching. You feel that? All right, let's go ahead and switch sides. So in yoga, we never want to hurt any joints, but a little discomfort is okay unless it's not, and then you want to come out of that pose. Same thing here. A lot of us are going to just simply lift our chest, bring our hands behind us, and just go forward as much as you can and hold it. Or inhale, coming back up, and exhale, hinging, maybe diving forward. Inhale. Are you feeling in the back of the left leg, the right leg? That's what you want to feel. Do you feel that? That's all we're going for. We're not going for any fancy pose. Some people have to grab their foot to feel it. And some people barely hinge, but we're flowing in and out with the breath so we can feel the difference of coming in and out of the pose. All right, and now we're gonna come into a split. How wide? We don't go 100%, we go about 75%. If you're not sure what that is, go into your deepest split and then bring it in a little. We're gonna kick our heels out. Try it in the chair if it's not working on the floor. Did you see how they're doing it in the chair? You can try that. Heels out, toes up. Same thing. You're simply gonna barely hinge. Or you're gonna exhale, diving forward. Let's come in and out with the breath. That's vinyasa. It is hard on those slippery sliding chairs. Maybe slide your hands down your legs. You can try that. I don't know. Or hold on to the chair.
Yeah, I'm afraid to plunge out.
Yeah. One more. Do you feel it in the inner thighs and the back of the legs? That's what you're feeling. All right, now we're going to come into cobbler pose. Okay, cobbler pose. Now this is from India. Well, all of yoga is. But the cobblers, they noticed as they aged, they weren't having bladder issues and pelvic disorders. And they realized it was from this pose that they would work the shoes in when they would sit. So we're gonna you can close your eyes here if this makes you feel uncomfortable. We're gonna talk about pelvic floor muscles for a moment. You're gonna pull in your pelvic floor muscles like you're holding in urine. Maybe even adding in a little bit of holding in gas, okay? Don't strain, this is a gentle holding in. And we're gonna do the same thing as we hold that in. You can bring your hands behind you and simply hinge, or you can dive forward. It's more about forward than down. And where are we feeling this? Well, you might feel it in your inner thighs, but we're gonna keep those pelvic floor muscles engaged. We're holding in urine, holding in gas. That's more of what it feels like for certain people. And then we're gonna do one more. And then we're gonna come into cobbler, and we're gonna grab on wherever we want, feet, legs. You can use your elbows to push them down. We're gonna pull in those pelvic floor muscles and take 3 breaths in and out of nostrils or pursed lips or your mouth. Just breathe. Notice where you feel it. Outer hips, inner hips, thighs, and come back up. All right, onto our back now. If you are able to, I would encourage you to get on the floor on your back. If you're not, you're going to stay on the edge of your chair. I'm going to give different instructions and I'll show different ways to do this. So on our backs, we're going to start with bridges. So lay on your back, bend your knees. Bring your arms out with your palms up. If you're in a chair, you're simply going to be squeezing your glutes. That means bringing in your butt cheeks, sucking in your butt and releasing, okay? We're going to do this 6 times with the breath. So on the inhale, everybody lift and spread your toes. Squeeze your butt cheeks and lift your butt. On the exhale, slowly relax your butt cheeks. Let's do that again. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. You can do this in your chair simply by squeezing. Do you need something for your head? You can do this in your bed as well. Let's do a few more. Try not to let your thighs splay out. Let's do one more. So we're all squeezing in our butt cheeks, whether we're on the floor or the chair. We're lifting our toes. And we're going to take 3 breaths. We're going to slowly lower. And then we're going to widen our feet a little bit. And we're going to all do windshield wipers. So bring your knees to one side as you turn to the other with your neck. Inhale, center, and exhale your knees to the opposite side and turn your neck to look opposite knees. Let's do those windshield wipers back and forth, whether we're in the chair or on the floor. Notice if you feel tightness in your back or in the sides of your back. Notice where you feel open. All right, back in the center, we're going to do pigeon pose for the hips. I'm going to show you both ways. Let's set up first on the floor. We're going to bring our right foot into a figure 4 with the foot resting on the thigh. If you're in the chair, you're going to be on the edge of the chair, and you're going to bring that right foot. There you go. Okay. Now, if your knee hurts, I'm going to give you a little tip here. Bring your toes in towards your shin. That's going to protect your knee. Okay? Take your right hand or fist, or push it against the inside of your knee, and then I want you to push your knee into your hand, okay? And take a breath. And release it. So you're not pushing down with your hand. Your hand's resisting. Your knee is pushing into your hand. The hand's on the inside of the knee, not on the top. And release. We're going to do that 4 more times. Push your knee into your hand. Place your hand on the inside of your knee. And release. Can I put your purse under your head or something? Okay. Do it again. Push your knee into your hand. This is good for sciatica. Release it. We're going to do it 1 more time. We're going to take 3 breaths unless it starts to hurt. And just take some breaths. It's okay. Listen, emotions come up in yoga. Sometimes you cry. I've cried in yoga. And did you know that you store relationships in your hips? Relational trauma may come out, and then I just want you to take a break from it. You're not ready. You can even step out if you need to. After 3 breaths, we're going to switch sides. Talk to yourself. If you're feeling some trauma come up, I want you, and your foot stays on the floor, by the way. It doesn't come up like traditional pigeon. All right? I want you to talk to yourself like you would as a child. Comfort yourself like a loving mother would. It's okay you're feeling trauma. It's okay you're crying. How would you comfort a child? Comfort yourself. All right, take your hand or fist and just push that knee into the hand or fist. Did you switch sides? It's okay. And release it. Do it again. You're going to push with all your might you're not squeezing in. This isn't yin yoga. Let's do it again. Push the knee into the hands. You could do some windshield wipers. Release it. Let's do one more. And then we're going to do it, and we're going to hold it for 3 breaths. Just going to spray some lavender. Pushing into the hands. And release it. All right, guys. Take a big breath, release your feet. And we're going to do some twists now. I'm going to give you a few options. You can sit in the chair, especially if you have back issues or you feel a little overwhelmed. I suggest you come into the chair. Otherwise, you're going to stay on the floor. You're going to, on the floor, you're going to lift your feet up off the floor with bent knees. Bring your arms out to the side. And as you exhale, you're going to keep both shoulders on the floor. And you're going to turn your knees to the right. Inhale back in the center and exhale opposite. Okay? Y'all continue to do that 5 more times. In the chair, we're on the edge of our chair. We're going to inhale. We're going to exhale and twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Inhale and twist. If you're on the floor, you can add your head to look opposite direction. Don't force yourself. We never give 100%. We give about 75%. I know that feels foreign to us as Westerners, doesn't it? But we just give, we want to keep some of that energy. We only give about 70, maybe even only 50% today. Let's do one more set on each side. If you're in the chair, we're actually one set behind, so we're going to do an extra one. And meet back in the center. Feel what's happening in the sides. Be kind to yourself. And meet back in the center. All right. We're going to do some pelvic tilts now. So like I said, your hips, you know, it has to do with the meridians if you're used to Chinese medicine, acupuncture, acupressure. There's actually a lot of science and neuroscience behind this. But we have these energy lines in the body, and certain parts of the body can trigger different emotions, and the hips can oftentimes trigger relationship issues, and the pelvis can be the same thing. So you can close your eyes or simply look at the ceiling or the floor. If you're on the floor, you're going to bend your knees and bring your feet to the floor. If you're in the chair, we're going to sit upright, and we're going to find the sits bones. So let me explain the chair to the chair people first. Feel this middle of your sits bones. On the inhale, you're going to rock to the front of the sits bones. So you're kind of sticking your butt out. And then when you exhale, you're going to go to the back of your sits bones where you're kind of rounding. Okay? So let's continue to do that with your breath. On the floor, you're going to, on the inhale, you're going to lift your back off the floor. On the exhale, you're going to press your low back into the floor. Do you feel your pelvis tilting? Let's continue to do that with the breath. Notice any emotions coming up. You don't have to deal with them now, but you kind of take a note and come back to that later. Any sensations in your low back, because your pelvis and your low back are connected. And then we're going to meet in the center. You can close your eyes or softly gaze at the floor and take a deep cleansing breath. All right. We're now going to work on some So what we're gonna do is we're gonna interlace our hands and our fingers, okay? And on the inhale, we're gonna turn our palms out or towards the ceiling if you're on the floor. Lifting as high as you can. And then exhale, slowly relax, bringing your palms back, opposite direction. Let's do that again. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, releasing. Let's do that one more time. Notice where you feel tightness. Notice where you feel resistance. Don't judge them. No judgment. Just notice it. Bring your arms to the side and release them. Taking a big cleansing breath. All right, if you're on the floor, you're going to roll to your side to come back to a seated on the floor or on your chair. In the chair, you're going to be on the edge of your chair. And we're going to do some more shoulder work. We're going to do shoulder rolls, but I want you to think of the movement of going up, back, down, and forward, even though it is a circular motion. So you can close your eyes, relax your arms. You don't have to close your eyes. Inhale, you're kind of shrugging, and just keep breathing. Pull your shoulders back, down, and forward. And continue with this kind of slightly squared shoulder roll, feeling all four ranges of motion. Oftentimes, if you have a lot of pain in your shoulders, it can be from a high-stress job. You feel you have the weight of the world in your shoulders, and this can lead to chronic pain. We're now going to reverse, coming up, forward, down, and back. When you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders, this can lead to tightness, discomfort, pain, and arthritis in the shoulders. We all store trauma in different parts of the body. And release. And just notice how you feel. All right, we're about to come into our Shavasana. So in trauma-informed yoga, I'm going to speak more in Shavasana. So typically we make it dark, we are very quiet, but that can be triggering to a lot of people. So I'm going to try to talk with my calm voice. And what I want you to do is I want you to get comfortable. So we are going to leave the lights on because that is more comfortable for some people. So if that bothers you, you can move so you're not directly under a light. So you can either lie down on the floor, and I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you want to go into parasympathetic rest, digest, heal instantly, turn sideways, come on your back, and put your feet up. When your feet are above your heart, not only is it good for your heart, I don't want to get up from here now, but it also brings you into parasympathetic rest, digest, and heal. If that was an intense flow for you physically or emotionally, and you can do that, I would suggest that. But you could also just lie flat on the floor, or you can sit in your chair. So go ahead and take a few moments. What I might do, I might just dim these lights right here.
Yes.
And leave those in the back. Let's see how that feels to anyone. Yeah. If that makes anyone uncomfortable. We'll let. Okay. I'm sorry. I could have gotten you a chair. I'm sorry about that. Okay. So, like I said, when your feet, I'll grab your chair, sir. When your feet are above your heart says, "Ha, I can see your brain pumping blood." And what happens is it's very restorative to your heart, but it also brings you into parasympathetic. Is that okay? Just wave your hand if that makes you feel uncomfortable. All right. So, whatever position we're in, we're comfortable. If it's too bright in that back row, ladies, y'all can move your mat, or you can sit in a different way. I feel like the light's right in your eyes, but let's all take a big cleansing breath now. Remember that audible sigh to reset the nervous system? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's do that again. You'd be surprised how much tension you can release with that sound. All right, now we're leaning back in the chair, or we're laying down on the floor. And we're going to start to relax the body, starting with the head and the face. So I want you to imagine that little wrinkle between your eyes smoothing out. Your temple skin is getting soft. As your temple skin softens, your jaw releases down. And even your tongue releases. Your tongue is almost hanging like a dog's tongue when it's at rest. We oftentimes carry a lot of tension in the jaw, mouth, and tongue. Feel the sides of your neck releasing. As your arms release and take up space, your upper back releases into the chair or mat. Your eyes are closed or softly gazing at the ceiling. Your chest is spacious. You are safe. Your legs are wide or taking up space, which releases your low back. Your pelvis is spacious and soft. You are safe. Your belly is soft. Even your hands are no longer gripping, and your toes are no longer tightening or clenching. Doing a body scan, notice if you feel like you're holding anywhere. Without judgment, notice where you're holding it. And then next time you exhale, try to release it. Now just notice that breath in the nostrils again. Coming in and out of the nose. Notice that breath coming up and down the back of your throat. Notice the breath in your chest rising and falling. And then in your belly, filling and emptying. Take another deep cleansing breath in the nose and out of the mouth. Start to slowly move your fingers, one finger at a time. Start to wiggle your toes. Make little circular motion with your wrists. And start to move your ankles as well. Starting with those on the floor, you're going to start to hug your knees in towards your chest, one at a time, and you can even rock back and forth before rolling to your side, using your hand and arm to slowly sit back up. If you have your feet on the chair, you do the same thing. You kind of push
sitting in a chair, you're going to sit back up on the edge of your chair. Whatever easy pose you choose, you're upright and tall. Your eyes can be closed or softly gazing down at the floor. Your palms are open with your hands resting on your lap. Notice if you feel something moving in your hands. Energy, vibration, electricity. As your palms are open, you are releasing the energy. Notice anywhere else in your body you feel energy moving. Stagnant areas that have been closed off have been opened up. Feel it moving through your body. Feel your breath moving freely. Notice if your body feels softer and light. As you inhale, just let your arms float up till your palms come together. Bring your hands to your heart and we bow. Namaste. Take as much time as you need. We're going to start to turn back on these little lights right here, not too bright. And I just want to thank